name's Michael Thomas. This is my 1996 Volkswagen Golf Harlequin edition. I bought this car back in February of 2003 is when I got it. I found it on Volkswagen Vortex, or VW Vortex rather. So yeah, I've had this car for over 15 years now. Originally they all came as 4-cylinder 8-valve motors. Previous owner did a 12-valve VR6 swap in it. So I bought it with new speed exhaust. I already had the VR6 swap done to it. It had new speed sports springs in it. A few other things. When I first got it, somebody keyed every single panel on the car, just out of pure hate, I guess. I don't know. They didn't know what it was. And this is, people young and dumb and in college. So State Farm was nice enough to give me a nice $3,500 check to get it all resprayed and everything else. So I had the fenders pulled, I had the hood shaved, the hatch has been shaved, and it got a full respray and clear coat, base coat. So it's been like that for the past 15 years. It's got some stone chips, but I still drive it. Originally from Maine, I got to drive this car. I moved from Maine to Palm Springs, California, back in 2005-ish. And I got to drive this car all the way across country. First leg was from Maine to Dayton, Ohio, where I had another Harlequin owner buddy of mine. So I stayed with him in there. Took about 5 days to make the trip, and I had painter's tape all over the front end of the car and stuff like that. So this car and I have been through just about every stage of life. It's one of my first actual car that I actually cared about. My first real Volkswagen was an '86 GTI, so that's what gave me the bug to fix these things. And I've always wanted a VR6 swap, so this one just happened to come with a VR6 in it. So that's what I started with, and it's been I guess a downhill slope after that. And now after owning a naturally aspirated VR6 for a while, I rode in a few friends of mine's cars that had turbo kits installed and all that. So after my first ride in a VR turbo, I knew I had to have one. So slowly started piecing things together, and paying off other debts and whatnot, and finally got it together, and it's been a lot of fun. And it's been running a VR turbo for the past 4 years or so. So this car was originally bought from a guy named Tim O'Neill. I found it on VW Vortex back in 2003. Tim O'Neill is from Atlanta, Georgia, and he worked at a dealership called Jim Ellis. It's a pretty famous dealership down there. They probably have 10 different brands that they sell down there and all that jazz. It's a huge dealership family. So this car was actually, for some reason they got a hold of probably 15 to 20 Harlequins in 1996. And this happened right around the exact same time as the '96 Olympics that was going on. So this car was bought with 1,400 miles on it after the dealership plastered it with his logos and lent it out to Olympic officials to use as advertisement during the '96 Olympics. So it's got a lot of history to it, and it's really weird that it's, with all the bombings during the Olympics and stuff like that, it was actually there, and So I've had this car since 2003. I bought it sight unseen. I saw pictures on the internet and that was it. He was originally asking $12,000 for it. And people were like, oh my God, it's really rare, it's really cool. But I would never be seen driving that. But it already had the VR6 swapped onto it. I was looking for this body style with a VR6 in it. And so I decided, I went to the bank and see what I could get approved for a car loan. And I offered him $7,000. That's what the bank said I could afford. So he accepted it. I bought it sight unseen. He put it on a car hauler and sent it from Atlanta, Georgia to Boston. And then my dad picked it up in Boston and drove it to Burlington, Vermont, where I was going to college. And that's where it all started. And I've just been tinkering on it ever since.